What a massive L for Netflix. Jeez. Even the critics don't like it. The Witcher Blood Origin, 35% critic score, 9% audience score. I mean, this is some monumental shite for even the critics not to like it. Goodness me. Christ alive. So, this obviously is released and things like that. Not going particularly well for it. Not going particularly well for Netflix. And this is probably why. Netflix The Witcher Blood Origin showrunner says, "You never write exactly for the fans." Sorry, what? It's just such a massive fan base and you're never going to satisfy everybody. Is this the same mentality that people at Lucasfilm have or something like that? What is going on here? Like, what is actually going on? You never write exactly for... The Witcher fan base isn't big. What are you doing? What are you actually doing? So remember, ladies and gents, 35% and 9%. But remember, these guys know best, right? These guys know best. Of course they do. Of course they do. Unbelievable. Let's take a look. You never write exactly for the fans. It's impossible. Because every person has their own version of that book in their head. This isn't a book. Their own version of Geralt. Their own version of Yennefer. Their own version of Conjunction of the Spheres. Oh, goodness me. Shut up. And this is Debara, who is the Witcher Blood Origin showrunner. Declan Debara. It's just such a massive fan base. You're never going to satisfy everybody. So, our jobs as storytellers is to tell the best through line, the strongest story we can. And we love this stuff. We're passionate about it. So it's finding that through line that will hopefully tell a story that will bring everybody on board going forward. How's that working out for you, mate? Isn't this the first show where two men kiss as well in Witcher that everyone was super proud of and super happy with? If your through line is nonsense like that or the message, fucking people are checking out, mate. Okay, your through line cannot be the message anymore. It can't be. It absolutely, unequivocally cannot be. One of the things from the very beginning that I wanted with this franchise is to show that fantasy is actually for everyone. Yeah, it is, mate, because it's fantasy. I didn't come into The Witcher as someone who had played dedicated hours on the game. I'd read the first few books and I'd fallen in love with them, even before I was asked to do the series. Of course you were. I then read the rest of them and I realised, wow, this series is actually for a lot of people. No! You mean anyone can buy a book? You mean anyone? But remember, ladies and gents, they're trying to make... This is the thing. This is the thing. When someone co-ops a franchise, and I've been talking about it a lot recently. We did it with Willow, for instance. We're talking about legacy franchises, right? Willow is a legacy franchise. It has a fan base. Not massive, but it has a fan base. You co-opt a franchise to tell, apparently, therapy sessions now. The Willow series is therapy for some lesbian chick actor. I mean, it's just nonsense. You're co-opting these series to talk about this stuff, trying under the guise of it being for everyone and disenfranchising everyone. No one is interested. So maybe you should stop focusing on, again, this. We're all about inclusion and diversity. Making sure that the world that we're representing on the screen represents the real world in front of us. And showing that fantasy welcomes everyone. Just as an FYI, that is absolutely nothing like the books though, is it? Absolutely nothing like the books. It doesn't need to be diverse. It doesn't need inclusion. And I've talked about this time and time again. And it really frustrates me why these idiots don't get it. Is that you have a series... You have, diversity and inclusion, and there are quotas to hit. Okay, we have that because of award shows. So to be sort of a viable show, to win an award, you have to hit a quota. So this is where the push for diversity and inclusion has come in. Obviously, lots of people need this. They get money from it and stuff like this. But then, at the end of the day, with this strive to make everything diverse and inclusive, there is no diversity of programming. Everything is homogenous. We know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. And because of that, it's boring. I would much rather have diverse programming, right? Netflix, go to Africa and hire a really good African writer and a really good African director, okay, to tell me a myth or a legend that originated in Africa. I'd love that. I would absolutely love that. Do the same thing with India. Do the same thing with Japan. Give me diverse programming. I don't want diversity within programming because all of the programs now are homogenous. It's all the same crap. Oh, there's going to be a strong woman here. Cool. All right, great. Fantastic. Are you going to belittle that man? Oh, yeah, cool. Yep, yeah, knew that as well. Oh, yeah, that one's... There's, some different orientation over there. Cool. Yeah, knew that was going to happen as well. It's boring. People are bored. Exhibit A. So anyway, this drive for diversity and inclusion, making sure that the world that we're representing on screen represents the real world in front of us and showing that fantasy welcomes everyone. It does, yeah. Because it's not the real world. That's why you can escape into it. It's what's fantasy, you dickhead. Sapkowski gave us a great gift with his books in describing the elves and the state they're in, which is barely hanging on. And they're the underdogs. He talks about the conjunction of spheres, which led to the humans coming and colonising them. Oh, great, colonising story. That there is a story. You just go, okay, I want to know about how that happened and what the world was like before the Great Collapse. What amazing things could they do? What wonders did they have? What was magic like then? How did people dress? They all look the bloody same. That's the normal show. How did they talk? What was their architecture? What was their music? So that was the basis of the origin of this. Basically, we're making it up as we go along. Oh, good times, yeah. I mean, look at this. They just look the bloody same. They look the same. And this nonsense. How they have crafted Merwin is that she's a prisoner of her circumstance and she's born into this patriarchal monarchy where she's told this is what you will do. You will marry off. You have no choice. You have no voice. Merwin's love of history and thirst for knowledge is what sort of grounds her in the fact that she has this voice. She has opinions and she's destined for more. Great. Good times. Cool. Excellent. Love it. Just such nonsense. This whole thing's crap. But remember, diversity and inclusion. All right, we need it. We need to make sure that fantasy's for everyone by making it look exactly like the real world, because that's what everyone just wants to see. They want to click on TV and look at how shit the world is in their fantasy world. Good times, love it. Anyway, this is crap. No one's interested. And again, when you make it saying you never write for the fans, apparently you've not been writing for anyone, mate, because no one likes it.